inherited. So it's a collective responsibility, Mr. Lawal Ekundai. That's what I'm trying to say. People don't perform their civic responsibility by not paying tax. Those that pay the tax, these people too don't serve. So in regards to that, what is your main grouse with what Tokunbo Wahab said?
Let me clarify some things.
Kindly do so, please. Kindly do so.
You see, normally it is the duty up till now in the law of the local government. It is the duty of the local government, you get it, to dispose of the waste, not the people.
Okay.
You get it. It's part
not the people.
Yes, that's what the local government law says. That the local government shall be responsible for the disposal of the waste.
All right.
You get. So normally, it is the duty of the local government to do that, not the state. Now, when the people pay their tenement rate, everything is included in that place. When you pay that tenement rate, the local government use that money to do all that for you. Now, you bring in PSP. You say public-private partnership. And then you begin to collect money from people for what the local government is supposed to be paying for. The people are paying for it, fine. And then the rates begin to increase to the level in which the people cannot afford. That is another one. Second one is that you are using the archaic system that is so that nobody is using it in the world again. It's the same system they are using in waste disposal in Lagos State. What's the system? You get it, pack and burn.
All right.
They don't do pack and burn again. They do recycling.
Okay.
You get it? Not pack and burn. That is why you see the waste, the dump site, you get it, over full because they have to burn it. Everybody is coming out. Now, the word is recycling. You set up 5 drums.
All right.
The one for paper, the paper industry will come and collect it and use it. The one for glass, one for metal, the one for house, your kitchen waste, they will take that one, use it for manure. You get, so that the one that is left, that will be burnt, that cannot be recycled, will be like about maybe 2% or 5% of your waste. When we had an issue with our PSP in Mafuluku Oshodi here, that is one of the things I was hammering as a community leader to the PSP operator, to the government, that in fact, you're supposed to be paying the people for this waste, because this waste is money. You can make money from this. This waste can be recycled. Almost everything. The PSP was telling us as that we have not got to that level. I said, what do you mean we have not got to that level?
Mr. Lawal Ekundai, my question is, how come there are ethnic colorations to this? Why are we having sentiments?
That's why I said this man
divisiveness. I said,
who is he? For God's sake,
no, he's the minister.
This have to begin to be in this office to say this.
What I'm trying to say, if you go on X, I'm not lying to you. Some of the officials working for the Lagos State governor get themselves involved in tribal sentiment. They respond to some miscreants on social media with ethnic coloration, and they use Peter Obi for it. Now, I'm not defending Peter Obi for anything, but he seems to be the easiest person to attack on social media. Incredible. They call him names. If you know the kind of names I never see before. Terrible names. They use him and the tribe he belongs to as a focus for their ethnic debris. Let me use that statement. Now, they themselves, with their official handle, respond to this. It's really bad. So if you now have government officials responding along with some of these social media miscreants using ethnic colorations, and we've not had any public official come out to declare and say, you guys, stop this. If you have what's Minister of Information and Strategy being part of those that throw out ethnic slurs, if you have even the state governor sometimes, there was a time when he responded to what Peter Obi said, although we'll call it political bantering, but we've not heard them officially come out to say, stop this nonsense, don't continue this is terrible. It feels like there are some certain persons who are supposedly sponsored by either the state or the federal level to allow this continue. So you erode social media with this kind of sentiment, divisiveness, and propaganda to either instill fear or suppress voices. I really cannot understand what the modus operandi is. Do you think Tokunbo Wahab responded like this due to the pressure of these certain persons on social media, maybe asking him to respond in such a way? I'm just asking. Do you think that is basically why? To show that they are active, to show that they cannot allow certain persons to say anything against the state, so they needed to respond like that?
See, I'm sorry to digress a little. Just 30 seconds. no, just even 15 seconds. When this JAMB registrar came on board to apologize and cry, you get it? Now, people don't see what this man was doing. He was setting a precedent. You get it? He was setting, a ground that we should be collective. You see, he came out to accept full responsibility of anything without any blaming anybody for it.
That's whether, Mr. Isha Kolo.
Yes, the registrar, whether it is one person that's supposed to do one machine, or maybe somebody that's supposed to look at it, doesn't look at it.
Yes.
He didn't. He carried the whole responsibility and apologized and promised Nigeria is going to fix things. Now, that's why I said today, this afternoon, I was coming along by that. I met Alakija side. The wind was blowing and everywhere was full of nylon flying all over the place. And we said, Lagos, you get it? Lagos is dirty. Now, if you put that on here, Lagos is dirty. A reasonable person will say, truly, we need to do something about
it.
But you are now beginning to generalize and say, why did you? Some people came from Lagos, from somewhere to come here. We give them opportunity. And that means that his response shows the level of his IQ. It shows that it's not fit to be in that office, because you should be thinking of solution. You get it? Not
calling for collective responsibility.
Yes, you should be asking for solution. People should give advice. What do you think we can make this thing to be better, so that it will not occur? Not for you to say all this. Even anybody who has research, who has done research and wants to bring it on board, or who has a good idea that if you do it this way it will work, that person will not be able to come up, because he has seen it. That you don't want something like that. What you want is that you begin to have this low thinking IQ. Okay. So you'll be looking at you as this person.
Mr. Lawal Ekundare, the question is, this ethnic division and divisibility has actually been in existence in Nigeria for quite a while, but it wasn't this potent. People moved on. It's one of those things that people just accept and move on. But at this scale, what do you think is the cause of it at this scale? Is
the political training?
Will these young minds, these educated, young, vibrant Nigerians who utilize social media, allow themselves to be eroded, brainwashed by these politicians to cause chaos? If this country implodes, who stands to suffer more from it?
See, let me tell you something. You are talking about the big people. It's already even in the primary and secondary. You get it? I thought I'm a teacher.
You always say that.
See, I'm a teacher. There was a time I was teaching civic education in one public school. I went there to assist them because they don't have that teacher. So I said, let me come in as a community leader to assist till the school gets a teacher. I put the question across to them. Do you know these children in the same class? They were against themselves. Somebody, the Yoruba student said it was the fault of the Igbos, that they came from somewhere. The Igbo said it's fault of the Hausas.
What class?
I am talking about SS1. That was 3 years ago.
They said what?
We were discussing, civic education now.
Civic education.
So I now asked them what they have to say about all this, what's happening. They began to point accusatory fingers based on ethnicity. The Yoruba once said it is the Igbos. They came from their land to Lagos, and they want to take over everything. The Igbo said no, it is not true, that it's in Yoruba that has. And I said that. I sat down and I said, wow.
It's the social media. It's social media.
14 years for age.
They follow Mr. Lawal Ekundare. It is what this thing is causing. A lot of them follow. They have access to phones.
Wait. Listen to me very well. Listen, it's not about the phone. It's about the mindset of the adult. Because the adults are the one who put it in the phone, not these children. They are 13, 14, for God's sake. 14. You get it? I was surprised. I started correcting them. I started talking to them. I had to change their mind. We did a project together.
Is it possible that there are certain schools
the adults
that actually promote this kind of thing?
Look at this one. Look at what this political office holder in Lagos State, this man said. You get it? What do you think it will be? What training is he giving his children concerning the other ethnic group? What training is he giving children around him when he can see all this thing? What do you think he's saying at home? If he can come on here and begin to blame other ethnic group for problem in Nigeria, you get in Lagos State, in order to bring another ethnic group, another tribe, then what do you think he will tell his children at home? What do you think the education is giving his children concerning the civic.
These people at the top echelon of government, most of them married other ethnic groups. So if you go to Lagos State House of Reps and you check most of their women are from other ethnic groups, not necessarily the Yoruba extraction. So Nigerians have intermarried. Hausa marry Igbo, Hausa marry Edo, Yoruba marry Igbo, Yoruba marry Delta, Yoruba marry. We have intermarried. We have been able to embrace each other as one. Why do we still have this kind of sentiment? Do you know, Ms. Alawa Ekunda, when there are issues, for example, Boko Haram did something. They killed people live. The APC chairman that was killed in Kogi State, in front of his house, is somebody that is supposedly from the southwest too. He's an APC person. I expected I would come on social media to hear people shouting that, government, you need to do something. Security is too much, blah, blah. Regardless of party affiliation, you didn't to go knew what the conversation was. I had Omoyibo this, Omoyibo that. And you have prevailing issues in your face.
That can affect anybody.
In your face. Insecurity is so bad. And you go on social media and what you're talking about is your ethnic extraction, your this, your that. And no, we will not allow this. Do you know the kind of the stalking, the hate? Oh my God. Do you know what somebody said one day? I don't even want to use this, but somebody said one day that I'm just waiting, looking at certain buildings that they would take. It starts like this before it gets to the streets. And they're happy to do it. They express their hate. And no one in government is concerned. Look at the example you're giving about students in your school. Look at the example you're giving about students in your school. Has politics gotten so debased that there is no empathy? There is no human feeling. There is no way to look at issues analytically without this kind of disparaging conversations taking place. It has become so terrible. Appointments are not given based on merit. Appointments are given based on where you come from. Appointments are given based on whom you know. And at the end of the day, you are incompatible. You are not competent to deliver. And then you begin to blame.
That is the major problem. That's the major problem we are facing. Because we have incompetent leaders leading us. That's the problem. I told you about Jack Conde. In my own house, almost all my people, all my friends, you get it, are not even Yoruba. Most of them are not Yorubas. I live among other ethnic groups. You get it? We try to learn our languages. We'll learn. In fact, they give me Igbo name. I gave them Yoruba name. You understand? From Calabar, from the north. We have people, friends. Even in my community, you see them. They greet me. We greet ourselves. We are friends. We try. I've been to the north. So I when I was in Maiduguri, I saw some people who lived in the west. You get it? When I got to Maiduguri, they were speaking Yoruba. You get it? And they were telling me where they lived. I was so happy. And they were teaching me their language. I was happy to learn.
This escalated or degenerated to this point because of the 2023 elections?
You see,
was it the elections that brought out this level of hostility?
It's not about the election. It's about the political. See, this political. This political. I don't want this
yes.
era that we are running now is what is totally wrong.
All right, Mr. Lawal Ekunda, I have Barrister Fred Nzako joining us via the telephone. We need to start taking reactions very soon. Let's look at what is going on. Barrister Fred Nzako, good evening and thank you for joining us on the Evening Rush.
Good evening.
All right, Barrister Fred Nzako, I don't know, you didn't join us from the beginning of the conversation. We're speaking about a couple of things, specifically Lagos State, but let's move on to the deepening political realignment ahead of the 2027 general elections. There are fresh indications that suggest that Peter Obi is preparing to recontest for Nigeria's top office, but this time with no intention of playing a secondary role. And that the development follows failed coalition talks between Obi and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, whose team had reportedly proposed that Obi serve as his running mate, a role he played in 2019 when he was in PDP. Now, multiple high-level sources are confirming that Obi is set to officially declare his 2027 presidential ambition in the coming days and may also unveil a new political platform. All right. This is coming amid reports that Atiku is now in advanced negotiations to join the African Democratic Congress with key support from former CPC loyalists like Nasir El-Rufai and Abubakar Malami. Now, Barrister Fred Nzaka, I want you to listen to Yunusa Tanko. I spoke with him earlier today. I had to record the conversation based on what the Obedient Movement thinks about this and the imbroglio within Labour Party and they as a movement or supporters of Peter Obi. So I just want you to quickly listen to this, sir.
Well, I don't know if there was any statement to that regard that would have been published. As far as I am concerned. Hello?
I can hear you, sir. It's in the news. We read it today that in the next coming days, Peter
What was it credited to?
No source precisely, just one of those permutations like we heard yesterday about Atiku and
It
Peter
was
Obi.
credited to nobody. So when there's going to be a news of that nature, I know a lot of interest is being generated. People want to hear where he's standing and how they're going. We will make that position known clearly when the time comes.
All right. Dr. Yunusa Tanko, something happened in Anambra, for example, the primary elections that was just concluded for Anambra. Now, INEC told us that they've not been able to review the CTC Supreme Court ruling about the chairmanship of Julius Abure. Funny enough, INEC was part of the Julius Abure faction of the primary. They were able to eventually conclude on their candidacy for Anambra State aspirant. And INEC actually was there. And they verified it, and he's been listed as the official candidate. So if INEC is telling us they've not been able to conclude the news about Julius Abure being re-enlisted as a Labour Party chairman, and INEC is verifying the primary elections that was conducted, and they were part of it, is INEC deliberately part of the situation ongoing in the Labour Party? Are they part of those dragging or ensuring that the imbroglio is not quickly resolved by acting indecisive?
That would have been a question directed to INEC itself. As far as I'm concerned, I'm focusing my attention on the obedient movement. So when it comes to the issue of party, please contact the leadership of Nanadi Usman or the INEC itself. They will give you more clarity as regard to their participation.
All right. Okay. Now, let me ask you about the Obedient Movement. What is ongoing? There are calls that the movement has been quiet lately, specifically on their principal, Peter Obi. People just want to know what's up, so they know if they need to galvanize, they know where to head to. A couple of them are just sitting on the fence, and we don't know if there is any form of communication whatsoever. Especially those who may not really be in the inner caucus of conversations ongoing within the Obedient Movement. So what are you doing about creating that awareness? What are you doing about constantly speaking to the people who support Mr. Peter Obi now that there's a lot of dragging both from the executive, the state? Everybody is always calling his name into anything. So what is the Obedient Movement doing about it?
If you are following the news, you could verify that the Obedient Movement has never been this structured. We had an amorphous organization before, but now we have a leadership. His Excellency Peter Obi is the leader of the Obedient Movement, followed by me as the national coordinator of the Obedient Movement. We've already have directorates of the Obedient Movement, 9 in numbers, up and running. We also have national coordinating councils already up and running from all the zones. We've done regional advocacy in 4 zones of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the latest being the one that was done in the southwest of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then we also have launched our portal for registration, which is already ongoing. I'll be glad to also share with you so that you all can also register, because you want every obedient to register. And then at the same time, we've already given leadership role for 25 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, all of them up and running at the moment. As you're speaking to me right now, I'm in Kano. I just received a group of persons from an former governorship candidate of the NPP and PRP who have a mobilization members of about 7,000 in numbers who have joined the Obedient Movement. So if somebody said the Obedient Movement has been silent, I really differ, because already we are in the news. Even the one you have just called me now, it was the refusal of the member of the Obedient Movement as regards to obedience
Sure. All right, Dr. Yunus Tanko. Based on some persons who left the obedient movement, like Osalaze as well as Valentine Ozigbo, that's where the conversation stemmed from. What is happening? These are persons who are part of the obedient movement who galvanized, and they're defecting, especially for Valentine, to the APC. Valentine also told us that, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi would definitely be leaving the Labour Party, possibly to join the ruling party, or if not the ruling party, another coalition. And that's why, this verification is needed. When you have close allies of His Excellency defecting to another political party that they have different political ideals or administration from, how would you react to this?
In politics, you can never say no, and you cannot shave a man's head behind him. He has to be present. So if there's any movement whatsoever that Peter Obi will do, I can assure you we will make it public. And our doors are not closed. Sometimes people may make mistakes in their pursuit of their independent ambition. But once they make mistakes, there's always room for correction. So our doors are open as a movement, and our doors are open as we lead this particular organization into a more formidable force. So anybody that has left has the right to also come back. The moment you leave or you see that things are not going right for you, you can still come back to the movement. Who will take you? As long as if the interest is mutual, and for us to make sure that Obi wins the election in 2027. So our doors are very much open to everybody who wants to join us.
You would take them even if you know they may betray you or stab you. You would accept them, or they may be
present. No. We don't give room for betrayers, but we can also give room for people who want to recorrect themselves to move forward. Everybody has the right to change.
All right, Dr. Yunus Tanko, thank you so much. All right, Barrister Fred Nsako, I am so sorry for keeping you. That was quite an extensive conversation that was had earlier on today with Dr. Yunus Tanko, the national coordinator of the Obedient Movement. Now, how would you react to this particular statement that there is a permutation that Peter Obi in the next coming days will declare, his presidential ambition for 2027, as he's been quiet all this while. However, as a sole candidate, not as a secondary candidate to anybody. Do you think, as it stands now, with all of the mudslinging and all of that, that he can be able to galvanize as the force that he was in 2023, despite the internal situation within the Labour Party?
Well, in the first instance, it is natural, especially in our environment, for there to be permutations towards the build-up to any major general election. Especially as we have a presidential election and general elections in 2027. But what is important is that Mr. Peter Obi wants to make himself available to Nigerians as a very strong alternative. We know that the APC is in power. We know that there is power of incumbency. We know that many politicians are running into APC for one selfish reason or the other. We know that Nigerians are also not satisfied with the delivery of governance that they are receiving from APC since 2015, and that Nigerians will need to have a choice. In our environment and in our laws, we do not have opportunities for independent candidacy. Otherwise, I'm sure that someone like Mr. Peter Obi would have run as an independent candidate, so that he will stand at the Rock of Gibraltar as the Iroko tree that will spread its roots and tentacles for all the birds to perch on, and provide the leadership that is much needed in Nigeria, which he has positioned himself to provide. And because we don't have opportunity for independent candidacy, every election must be run through a political party. It's obvious that there is a spoiling hand that has spoiled the political fortune of Labour Party. The same spoiling hand is spoiling the political fortune of PDP. That means that both parties are no longer very healthy and safe for Mr. Obi to fly his flag and to achieve his ambition. The essential ambition of Mr. Obi is not to become the president. His ambition is to make Nigeria better. And he wants to provide an option, an alternative to Nigerians. Otherwise, so many people had advised him not to run. But he said he is convinced that the major opposition that the current government has is the people. The major opposition is not even the political parties, because the difference between one political party and another is blood. My friend will tell you that the difference is like 6 and a half a dozen, meaning that the difference is the same. There's no remarkable difference. One party is almost equal to another party in the Nigerian environment due to lack of ideologies. But Mr. Peter Obi now wants to make that difference, to stand out and stand tall, so that Nigerians will not say, oh, we had no alternative if they make mistakes. Nigerians made mistakes in 2019, even though we continue to insist that President Muhammad Buhari didn't win that election. But he ran away with it. 2023, up to today, is still arguable how the election was conducted. But now Nigerians will be given another opportunity to decide their leadership in 2027. If Mr. Peter Obi does not run, it will limit the opportunities and alternatives open to Nigerians. And for anybody to think that he will play a second fiddle behind any other person, including Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, as they decided in 2019, the times have changed. The dynamics have changed. The situation has changed. So, Mr. Peter Obi is unlikely to run as a deputy to anybody, but you want to stand out and stand tall so that Nigerians will have a rallying point. It's now left to the people of Nigeria to decide whether to rally around him or to remain where they are. As at that point, it is the choice of the people, and whatever choice they make, they will live with it.
Barrister Fred Nzako, for the All Progressives Grand Alliance national chairman, the founding national chairman, his name is Dr. Chakwas Okori. He disclosed that the Southeast and Obedient movement will strongly reject any deal that places Obi in a subordinate role, noting that the movement now sees Obi as a front runner, not a deputy, and that Obi is poised to make his declaration public within the week. That's what he said. He says, I am in a position to know Peter Obi will not run as anyone's running mate. He led his team in a 3-day meeting with Atiku's team, and they could not agree on the vice presidential offer being speculated in the media. Obi has achieved a high level of political mileage that cannot be subsumed under another candidate within the week. He will present himself as a presidential contender and may unveil the party platform he intends to use. So is this man verifying to us that Obi is defecting to another political party, and that in the coming days we're expected to hear that? Because in Anambra State, the Julius Abure-led faction for the governorship elections coming up in 2024, INEC recognized their candidate. Meanwhile, there is a chairmanship issue that is from the Supreme Court ruling recently, where Peter Obi, Alex Otin, and Nadu Usman submitted the CTC to INEC. INEC's legal team was meant to look into that for quite a while. They seem to have been delaying. The last time there was a story that went across the media that INEC re-enlisted or relisted Julius Abure as the chairman of the Labour Party via a court order. We don't know where this court order came from. Now, INEC now came and responded when people were berating INEC and said that that was not from them, that they were from mischief makers. They have not decided. They have not concluded. So how come INEC was part of the primaries under Julius Abure's faction, and they also recognized the Anambra State candidates that was, eventually won the primaries for Anambra governorship elections in 2024? Is INEC part of the problem of the Labour Party? Are they sponsored to delay and ensure that Labour Party is not organized and remain distracted with the whole Julius Abure situation? How do you respond to this, sir?
Well, in the first instance, I agree with Mr. Chief Chakwas Okori that Mr. Peter Obi will not likely run as a deputy to anybody. It is most unlikely because, like he said, Mr. Obi has achieved a lot of political milestones that Nigerians will look up to him to rescue this country from myriad of challenges and problems bedeviling the country. So that one is settled. What is left is for us to see which political party he will like to fly his flag with. Because the Labour Party, as we know, is already in a very big mess. Orchestrated from outside with internal collaborators. Now, all such internal collaborators or such internal collaborators rally around Julius Abure. Recall the other time it was Lamidi Papa that was used. Today it is Julius Abure that is the hatchet man ready to hack down the political party. Now what is now left is they're just waiting for anybody to thinking that if it's a bit of the continues there, the factionalization will affect his ambition.
Okay.
So it is in the very best interest of his political dream and ambition to leave a Labour Party. So whether he will depart from Labour Party or not is obvious. It's settled because the challenge in Labour Party is not going to end soon. So the very best thing is to leave that party and move in. After all, without Peter Obi, Labour Party was nothing. So if he leaves Labour Party will go back to its position of doldrum, and then the new party, whoever he moves in, will now become the bright star. Nigerians must have a good alternative for them to choose in 2027.
Okay.
And if you now begin to look at the external collaborators, those who are part of the problems of Labour Party, you cannot discountenance INEC. Because INEC seems to be a co-conspirator in the problems of Labour Party. How can INEC begin to ambulate between understanding and lack of understanding of clear Supreme Court judgment? And INEC is now claiming that they are still studying it. If you are still studying it, how long will it take you to conclude the study? And even if you cut some slack to INEC and say that they will want to observe primaries of Abuja side and also other primaries of the Nadi Usman side, such that at the end of the day, whichever decision they take will not be too late because the primaries cannot be repeated.
Okay.
We expected that INEC, if they did not understand the judgment of Supreme Court, they would have applied to the Supreme Court for clarity of such judgment, because INEC is the central figure in all of this as the election management body. They should have applied to Supreme Court to get a clarity on the judgment. And if the result clarity is not coming, the legal team will be able to tell them what they know. But those of us who have studied that judgment, the judgment did not state that Julius Abure is still the chairman. The judgment says that the party should go and observe their internal democratic mechanism in their choice of leadership. To some extent, somebody will say that the judgment itself was not point blank.
Are you sure it wasn't point blank? It wasn't precise. That judgment wasn't precise.
The judgment was not point blank. I've read that judgment. It was not point blank. The judgment is ambiguous. But if you look at the nature of that judgment, it simply removed Julius Abure, but did not appoint any other one. So that is the ambiguity there. And Abure is now holding on to the election that he conducted at the Nnewi that was described as a charade by the lower courts. And because the Supreme Court has said it is the duty of the political parties and not that of the court to determine the leadership of the parties. He is now holding on to that charade at the Nnewi. Then that's a so-called convention that
the convention that INEC was not part of, and some top persons in Labour Party were not part of.
Where he and his men came together and anointed him. So that is the problem, and that is the challenge, whereby some people even begin to cast aspersion on the Supreme Court for not being pointed. But I will not join in such aspersion because I do not know what was taken to the court.
Okay.
Because it's not a Father Christmas like we always say.
So, sir, if INEC was not part of that convention at Nnewi, how come INEC seems to recognize it? If INEC was not part of that convention at Nnewi, INEC needs to be part of your convention, so that anything done there is legal and authenticated. So if that is the case...
That is why many people accuse INEC as being a co-conspirator in the problems of Labour Party, and that INEC was helping Labour Party to disintegrate. Essentially because Labour Party, those hands that don't want opposition in the country, want Labour Party to be buckled down. And INEC is now a willing tool to ensure that that is achieved. And that is why anybody should not expect that Mr. Peter Obi will seriously continue to trust Labour Party. Because at the end of the day, the problem of Labour Party will not end until after 2027. And that is the fact, and that is the truth. The problem of PDP may not end until after 2027. That is the fact, and that is the truth. And that has thrown the major political gladiators into permanent confusion within those two major opposition parties. And the only option for them is to leave. Now, in leaving, they will face another challenge of coordination.
Okay.
A challenge of who becomes what. A challenge of how do I pocket my ego and my ambition to allow the other person. And in the midst of all that, they will now become, again, fragmented. Don't forget that that same cold hand will continue to follow them wherever they go until after 2027. So what is left for Nigerian people to determine their fate? Like some people will tell you that the major opposition today in Nigeria is not any of the political parties, but the Nigerian citizens who are facing numerous challenges of threat to life, challenges of economic downturn, challenges of lack of good life, challenges of lack of employment, challenges of all manner of problems that they expected to be solved by the leaders, which the leaders are not solving. It is left to the people to take a decision. If they decide one way or the other, their fate in the next couple of years will decide to their decision. And I can tell you that that is the principle behind Mr. Peter Obi bringing himself out to stand as an alternative to Nigerians. And I can tell you that because he is not known to be a desperate politician, he will just make himself available and allow Nigerians to take their own decision.
Now, but Barrister Fred, a couple of people feel that Peter Obi is supposedly isolated beyond his followers and supporters, like some top political bigwigs, maybe being afraid of the current political party, have refused to identify themselves with him publicly in showing support, that there is no strong ally, all right? There's no strong political ally with him. And that was why they were actually saying he should, possibly take a secondary role with Atiku and join a different political party. We've heard that Atiku may join the ADC very soon. We don't know if they're still in talks or if they've made or come into any conclusion. But obviously, with what is going on in the PDP, he knows that most of the PDP members are not happy with him and they may not give him a ticket in their next convention, which is to take place, or rather, national executive meeting, which is to take place on May 29th. Right? That's the end of this month. So if that is the case, how do you think Peter Obi would galvanize that kind of support beyond the obedient movement?
Sometime around 1994, Clement Westerhoff, former Nigerian Super Eagles coach, said that big men no play soccer. Big name no play soccer.
Okay.
In politics, in as much as the big names are important, the most critical aspect of any political endeavor is the ballot. And the ballot is by the thumbs of the people. The only unfortunate thing is that a lot of Nigerians do not know where they stand. A lot of Nigerians are politically illiterate. A lot are educationally illiterate. But if Nigerians can be galvanized the way they had galvanized themselves in the past, I can tell you that with or without the very big names, Nigerians will decide where they go. It's a challenge to Nigerians because Kenya did it, Liberia did it, so many other countries in Africa did it. They decided where they will go, and they went that direction, and they achieved the result that they needed. But the incurable decadence and corruption in Nigeria will not even allow the Nigerian electorates to live up to their biddings. Because if Nigerians will want to sell their votes for mere pittance, if Nigerians are coerced and compromised with pinches of rice and salt, and they throw their vote into the wrong ballot, then Nigerians will have themselves to blame. And at that point, Mr. Peter Obi will just be smiling from the comfort of his home and tell Nigerians that I have tried for you, but you have decided not to try for yourself. So it is the duty of all well-meaning Nigerians to think and then take a decision one way or the other where we shall go in 2027.
All right,
And like I said earlier, whatever decision taken by Nigerians will live with them for the next 4 years or thereabout.
Barrister Friday Zako, thank you so much. Let's take reactions from Nigerians at this particular point in time based on the conversations that we've had. I sincerely do appreciate your input.
Many thanks.
All right. Salawa Akundaya, in a few seconds, do you have anything to say in reaction to Peter Obi to declare the new political party and what Yunusa Tanko said about the obedient movement so we can take reactions?
See, what I keep saying is this. That Nigeria needs saving.
Okay.
So when it comes to saving, you need to galvanize people you know that you can work together, you get it, to win the battle. It's not about you being the general, the most powerful general.
Okay.
You know, you get it. Because your opposition, your opponents are also massing together other generals.
All right.
You get, they are combining generals together. So why can't you do that? If they combine more generals, they'll be more powerful than you now. Even if you are the most powerful general, at a point they become more powerful than you. You get it? So now, if the option to save this country is Peter Obi to be vice to somebody, there's no big deal about it.
Okay.
He can
you're
still
part
be
of those who don't mind him playing a secondary role.
Yes, because he still has a chance. It will create a better opportunity for him.
Okay.
If you lose it now, you understand. If they lose this 2027 now, he may not even be in the political system again, because they will hold on to that power in such a way that you know what they are doing to him now. It will be times 100,000 they will do to him.
All right.
So they'll face him out
Well,
with
he's
some
not
others.
the only political opponent. I don't know why everybody is calling him out. Dave Umar, he just called him out just like that. It's an everyday thing. All right, let's get your reaction. 08036929933. All right, 08036929933. The WhatsApp number is 081717563338. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm very, very sorry.
Turn down the volume of your radio.
Yeah, that's that. Turn it down.
Please, what's your name?
Yeah, this is Ikan Chukwu Emmanuel Lezoborg.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
I'm calling from Shasha.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. If you may ask me, I will just advise, if possible, it should just go and play. As you said that they cannot play second fiddle to anybody. I will advise him to go and commit himself under article to run as vice president.
Okay. Thank you very much.
In order for him to have a better chances in the future. Because as your visitor just said, once he misses it this 2027, I don't think he will have any other opportunity.
All
So
right.
I will advise him to go and run and team up with Article. They will make better impact with Article than running alone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, good evening. How are you? Turn down the volume of your radio, please.
Hello, good evening, Esther.
Good evening. How are you?
2027.
I'm fine. And you?
I'm fine. What's up? Happy.
I greet your guest there.
Thank you very much. I thank you very much. Go ahead, sir.
This collective promotion.
All right, Mr. Clinton, go ahead, please.
I just want to advise Mr. Tito. He should not even run about this 2023 and 2027.
He should not what?
There's nothing that anybody will claim.
Hello?
2027. Huh?
You said he should not what, please?
Anybody that even if all of them like to contest, he is going to win 2027. So I'm advising him not even 2031. He will try. So let him forget about 2027. About anybody that is contesting against Tinubu 2027, they are just wasting their money. So
all right.
That's my.
Thank you. Remember, we had quite a number of issues, all right? All of you are just going on the political front. Politics. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name?
The name is Ugo from Ajigule.
All right, Ugo, please go ahead.
Yes, concerning the issue of tribal tension going on in the country.
Yeah.
There are too many people that you find out Igbo do this one, Yoruba do this one, Igbo do this one, Yoruba do this one. So, but based on, I want to draw my point based on what happened in Rwanda.
Okay.
You know, that Rwanda civil war, let's not go deep into this issue, but that war lost too many lives because of a particular radio station called Radio Colin. There was no social media then, but it was just the radio station and TV station. But there was a particular radio station called Radio Colin.
Okay.
That Radio Colin caused the death of too many people.
Loss of lives, yeah.
If there was social media, it would have been worse. Now, coming back to Nigeria, there are many people, you that is listening to me now, you know yourself, you are always causing tension on internet, you know yourself. It looks like it is small, but the outcome of it, you would not like it.
Are you speaking generally? When you say you yourself, are you speaking generally? Can you hear me? You said you. What do you mean by you yourself?
You said
you yourself, you know. Who is you? Are you speaking in a general context or what?
No. Madam Esther, can you hear me?
Okay, yes.
Can you hear me?
You need to clarify.
If I have anything to tell you, Madam Esther, I will tell you. If I have anything to tell anybody, I will tell you. No, I'm not even talking about you guys in the studio. I'm talking about our listeners, those of us who use social media to cause tension.
Right.
Those are the you that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about any of us here. Those people that are around, that are listening to us now, that you know, tiny thing, Igbo do this one, tiny thing, Yoruba do this one. In fact, let me even call out somebody. There's a particular man called Adeni Yukunu. He is a 91.3. Madam Esther, if you hear where Adeni Yukunu is talking about Igbo people, you will wonder if, as in, people that listen to 91.3 know what I'm talking about. We give you people a chance to come to Lagos and do business, and they are taking it for granted, blah, 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 blah. Adeni Yukunu 91.3. People that are listening to me know what I am talking about. Adeni Yukunu 91.3. He is among the people causing tribal tension in this country. I am telling you for a fact. He doesn't do it every time, but whenever there's an issue of Igbo and Yoruba something, he is the one always bringing that tension. Please, if you are doing this thing, stop it. It looks small, but it can lead to something you will not expect.
It's already happening. I'm telling you, it's already taking effect. It is. On the street, it is. You made mention of the secondary school students.
Yes, no, I taught them. You get
wow.
it?
Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Please, what's your name?
My name is Moses Obiamobite, calling from Luke.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
You see, I believe that Yoruba and Igbo, we are not having any problem. It's just a political issue. Okay. That's what always causes that Igbo hate Yoruba, Yoruba hate Igbo. But when you come down, you will see that even me that I'm talking, my wife is a Yoruba. And my Yoruba, I gave my children Yoruba name, and I gave some of them Igbo name. So I didn't see any problem between me and my wife family. We are all friends. But in the times of politics or appointment, that's when we will hear in Igbo. So I didn't believe in all those things. But I believe who holds Lagos is the one that builds Lagos. Is the one that buys land and builds house in Lagos. It's not we that doesn't have anything that have Lagos. So that's what I want to contribute. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine. What's your name?
This is Remy from Akoko.
All right, Remy, please go ahead.
Your guest.
Good evening.
I'm glad to know you also think really loud.
You said?
I'm glad to know you think really loud.
Yeah, I finished reading it. I did my MS, my BSc, and my MSc there as well. Go ahead, please.
So, one of the caller mentioned, I don't know you.
Yeah.
I do listen to him as well.
Let's not promote him. Let's not promote him, please.
Some context to the discussion at times.
Yeah.
So, I do agree with Komokinzi as the journalist. One of the things he says is good, but saying is what he said about him wasn't true. It's not factual. That's by the way. We kept asking, losing behind why people criticize everything on social media.
Yeah.
I think the answer is right there before us. Let's not ascribe to malice. Let's can describe misgovernance or something else. And there's a trajectory to that. In 2007, 2011, 2015.
Remy, are you on speaker or are you using an earpiece?
Yeah, I am.
Which one?
Okay, let me remove it.
Okay, because it's like the episode is shifting. It's like, all right, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Just stay one place.
Okay.
Balance.
In 2007, when Gbabaji ran as governor, the only two they used was this ethnicity thing. They said they were going to give Lagos to Igbos. They were banner about him in 2011 as well too. That has been the tool of APC. Go and check. So there's only one faction, one party that's known for that method. It is this APC, this Lagos wing of APC. Tell me any other Southwestern state that does that. None except this Lagos State APC. Go and check the record. It's there. So if you keep asking what is behind this, who is behind this, it is the Tinubu APC in Lagos State. That has been the tool we have been using. They did in 2007 against Gbabaji, in 2011, in 2015 as well. Go and check. They did the same thing to Bible in the last election.
Yeah.
So that has been the tool. Go and check. Even the so-called Wahab, his previous tweet, there was a time he posted an old video. I don't know if you saw that. Just to prove a point. I don't know if you could recall. Sometime last month, I think. Also, he
last
posted an
month.
old
Yes,
video.
it was last month.
Put it down was when people came for him. So most of them act like an influencers, but even the governor too. We saw his post against what's his name? Peter Obi. So that party is known for that. So if you keep asking who is behind this, the answer is just there before you, except you choose not to agree with the fact before you. Lastly, I don't see the reason why Obi should be advised to anybody. Obi won Atiku and his last election. I can debate this with anybody. He won both of them without any elected official on his side. He won them hands down. I can debate this with Yakubu. So he doesn't need Atiku to emerge. All he needs, just like Barrister said, Nigerians. He's making himself available to Nigerians. If you like, choose who you want 2027. Obi doesn't need presidency to live well. He will just be in his own living fine.
All right.
So don't do
very much.
You are doing me a favor if you vote for him. It is you Nigerians that need him. You need the capable hands in
Thank
power.
you very much. Thank you. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, good evening. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Esther Machuku.
Good evening, sir. Please, what's your name?
This is Boyesin calling from Afromedia.
All right. Boyesin, wow. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. You see, I don't need the soothsayer to know that what is going on in the Labour Party is just the hands of the power that be. They've been responsible for that. We all know this, except somebody who pretends to say he doesn't know. I myself, I know. Many people know. So it's the power that be. But then I know that Peter Obi, in his own capacity, can never allow himself to be used as a second fiddle.
Okay.
It can never work, because if he tries that now, that means he has already closed the door for himself. So I know that he will come up with something better. And I want to advise the people, the Nigerian masses, they should think well. They should put on their thinking caps. Nigeria, the masses have suffered so much. These people that are in government now, they don't have anything to offer, for God's sake. Let us just reason together and push these people away, because they've destroyed us.
All right, thank you.
Let me stop there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling. 08036929933. 08036929933. What?
Can I respond?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. What I want to say is that, see, it's not that people cannot vote for Obi or people will not vote for it. It's not that Obi cannot win the election. What we're saying is that his chance, you get it, of being declared the winner is the issue. You get it? Because now in the last election they were saying that Labour Party did not have enough polling booth agent. You understand what I'm saying? They don't have enough. So even if they win in one area and there's no agent in that area, it is easy to reach that place. So you need to combine with somebody so that you can have enough tentacles to spread. You can cover all the polling booth and even have agents moving around. You get, but if you don't have enough, even if you win in some areas, they will simply take it out from you because you don't have anybody to defend that place. You get it? So it's not about, just voting for him and going. It's about defending that vote. So how many people can do that if he doesn't combine with somebody who's as strong as he is? You get it? To be stronger. That's what we're saying.
All right, thank you very much. Hello. Of your radio when you call, please. 08036929933. All right. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Hello. Good evening.
Yes. Good evening.
Can you hear me, Esther?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Please, what's your name?
Okay, my name is Shola. I'm calling from the Estate, Agada.
All right, Mr. Shola.
I greet your guest too.
Good evening, sir.
Quickly, I just have very few things to say. I've been listening to some of your guests, even by the Darlington yesterday. Has changed his tune, talking about that the music has changed. It will be to align with Shigo as vice president to Atiku. See, that is the same problem that has been developing in Nigeria. And I'm very shocked that people that are expect to know better are now thinking a different thing. You know that what is happening to Nigeria is that many of these people are advocating for Obi to be vice president. Is that we are so desperate, you understand, to collect power from Tinubu, even though I know that we are in a dire state under this government. But at the same time, what happened under Jonathan? You understand? People wish that even if it is a vote, even if it's a people, let that person just be president. That is the same thing. You know that this article, for me, article can even be worse than Tinubu. It's like we are going back to Egypt. Anything we are doing is what doing well. Why don't Nigerians come together and support a best candidate? What we need to do now is that let Nigerians rally together and advocate for electoral reforms. These are things that will make it possible to have a credible candidate. You understand? There are many candidates that are credible. We don't want all these old horses anymore. Article is going back. We are going back to Egypt. I'm so disappointed. Why are Nigerians so desperate like this?
Thank you very much.
We need to calm down.
Thank you.
We need to be strategic
Peter Obi said he's not in for
go for the right things.
He said he's not.
Electoral reforms is the key.
All right.
This is done by it. Tell people you can do things simple with forbidden. Let the activists among us. Right. Let them lead. Just like Tinubu did those days.
Yeah.
Tinubu the passport. No, what they're supposed to be doing. They're not doing. All those role models, the leaders, they're not doing it.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Hello. Good evening.
Yes. Good evening, sir. How are you, sir?
Yes. My name is Lekon.
All right.
Yes.
Lekon.
Obi is ready to salvage Nigeria from this situation. But one thing, Obi should not align with Atiku. It can be with any other politician to spread his tentacles. Because we all witnessed what Atiku did when he was VP. That is one. Then on races, somebody mentioned a radio and a presenter.
Yes.
Your station VOP is really trying. But I want to suggest as well, You see, there is an analyst there. If you cannot bench him, at least reduce his features on radio. I'm also a broadcaster. Barrister Darlington. It's too tribal. When it comes to Yoruba and Igbo and Nigeria, the way you hear him on radio, if he has that power, he's ready to stretch out his hand and slap that person.
No.
So please reduce. Yes, you are listening to him too. He's on radio. Everybody's listening, and VOP is a national radio.
Yeah.
That's just my advice. God bless you, ma.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, there have been complaints in that regard, but Barrister Darlington speaks from a perspective of experience. However, your observations have been noted. All right. 08036929933 08036929933. That's the number to call, and the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello.
Yes, hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Esther.
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Thank you.
Good evening, Lawal too. Lawal.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Hello?
My name is Godfrey.
Okay.
Of Sulere. Yeah,
All right, Godfrey, please go ahead.
Okay, let me also join others who have supported the idea of P2B standing on his own. In fact, I do not know why people like Lawal, I don't know why they are that afraid. Even that thing yesterday, he was saying that the thing was getting me so disgusted that like somebody just said now, we are still trying to go back to Egypt, aligning to this thing that we are trying to reject just because of fear. But if we, like people who have this platform now, the analysts like Lawal, Darlington, if they want to help the situation through this their platform, if they just speak to that credibility that we are looking for, like what obtains in other countries, and even while discussing the issue here, what should be brought into the question should be how Nigerians should now learn from the mistake of the last election. Like he was talking about, pulling votes during Malta people. Now that we have known all those loopholes, it's for us to galvanize. We want a better country.
Okay.
That we be subjecting ourselves still to this gimmick of opposition. No, let's stop it.
All right. Thank you.
I know that if we come out.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir.
Yes. Good evening, sir. What's your name?
My name is Jeff.
Jeff from where? Jeff, you did break. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, can you hear me, man?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Good evening to Jeff there.
All right.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. What I want to say, you see, article. Yeah, I don't know if you give me like 2 or 3 minutes.
No, 3 minutes is too long.
I like it.
3 minutes is too long.
No, listen, yeah. Everybody is saying, even the friends, I have me to talking about it. So we should go and march with the article to the city. If you recall in 2019, article won that election against Buhari, courtesy of Obi, but we could not claim it. Now, 2023 has come and gone. What is article? What did he do in 2023? See, Obi should stand on his own. Obi should stand on his own. Article is not the right person to do the one to be.
Okay. Thank you.
And then people should stop discouraging us that we go there and vote.
Okay.
Like that is that anything. I don't like the way you speak today about this margin.
Okay.
So they should look at it where article cannot withstand anybody.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Make sure that you go and vote when it's time for you to vote.
Which platform do you want to be to come out from now?
Didn't you hear what I said? I said in a few days the former Abga chieftain told us that in a few days we'll get to hear that. But for Unisa Tanko, he says that in anything that comes, we'll hear from them. On YouTube, let me take some messages. Loma now comes once a month to my area, Akodu, Mushi. They actually informed us, JPay. Okay. Living as Obi. Good evening, VOP. I pity Peter Obi. It looks like youths from the West are paid to attack the man. This is bad. I shed tears for Peter Obi. Obed Oji, Ogalawal, you agreed. Please look at the question from Anchor Girl Esther. This ethnicity or ethnic coloration during 6 o'clock news. Barrister Darlington brought ethnic coloration for the jam issue. All right. Professor Loide said it that there was someone who did not do their work properly. They knew about it. And okay, sorry, these calls are interrupting. They knew. Okay, you guys, your calls are interrupting me from reading these messages, please. Okay, so Obajaji says, yes, this caller is very correct. The presenter was in another radio station before where he is now. That is how he is, and I'm very disappointed with him in that regard. He's very so. Yes, I and Adeni Yukunu, we were colleagues at Inspiration FM, the same news department. We used to co-present together at the time, so that's what Obed Oji is referring to, so he knew us back there. Babatunde Awolaja, let APC come out with their plans and strategies. Will frustrate their plans this time around. APC is already divided because of Obasa issue and their imposition of candidates in the last local government primaries. Okay, your calls are really interrupting these messages I am reading. I may not be able to take everything because we have a paid for program coming up. All right. Also, Babatunde said, Yoruba Kingdom TV, funny, and you guys think Obi can win single-handedly. Seriously, if they can do it alone, then Tinubu wins. All right, okay, that's from Yoruba Kingdom TV. Ernest Ike at Ozo Obinwa, it's the turn of the southeast to be precise, so Peter Obi should be the flag bearer. Is it about turn or capacity? Nigerians should not mind all this APC propaganda. Okay, if Obi vice article, what is wrong with that? We hear you. That's also Obinwa. Ernest Ike, the tribalistic people should understand that there is no place. They should understand that there is no place they buy things cheaper. They should even ask themselves what they are benefiting from supporting this present government. All right, Madwago says Obi should run on his own. If he feels so, be it. Grabbing power is not the issue. What happens after APC grab power and we can see where we are? Atiku and Obi have different reasons for seeking, so it's not about power. All right, thank you very much. Those are some messages I can take on YouTube. Let me go on to WhatsApp. Just a few messages. This person says, MC, they will tell you to send. Okay, no, this is not for me. So let me go on to messages from this evening. All right, somebody Ezinira from Ijesha. Lagos is a problem of Nigeria. Let every other seaport function with the same tariff given to Lagos. I tell you, even your radio station will relocate. Esther, my village in Anambra State is far better, clean than Mushin Oshodi. It's not Lanijasa. Please let those so-called Lagosians travel to other states to see how streets look like. Well, Anambra is not heavily burdened. You don't have a lot of other people residing there as much as they reside in Lagos. So let's try to be objective in this analysis or explanations. Good evening, VOPS. Thank you for bringing this issue of tribalism. Take it or not, today's politicians are the reason for all this tribal matter. They invade all this hatred amongst us in order to remain in power. Please, coming together as citizens will not allow them to achieve their political will. I wonder how you keep on insulting and denying those who own their home and businesses and ignore those that has nothing positive to contribute. Government has a big role to play here. A word warning from Mr. President can put a stop to this, to all this. Ralph from Satellite Town. That's what I've been saying. If the presidency or those working for the presidency call these people out and say stop these things, they will stop. Or even the governor, it's like I don't know. I don't know.
This person now. To let people
it's not just him. It's not just him. Even most of the people working for him, you go to their social media handles. Hi, Esther and our distinguished guests. Constructive criticism is thoroughly needed for growth of any kind. I think it's the public officials that should come up with creative and exciting ways to accommodate. And as a matter of fact, let these comments spur them up for better administration. They should stop being defensive at every contrary comment made. Laugh out loud. Great job you're doing, Esther Olu from Egbeda. Thank you very much. Good evening, Esther, Mr. Ekundaya. I'm Engineer Olasokomi Adefuye, also known as Mr. Lasso from Ijesha Tedo Mushi. Mr. Lawal, please be informed that moving FCT out of Lagos to Abuja is not because of that reason you mentioned, and none of these present political activists were in the pictures. Those behind it are all late now. This is Pa Awolowo, Chief Anthony Enahoro, Ajasin, Chief Bolaige, Joseph Wayas, etc. So names I can remember. The move was basically from late Pa Awolowo with a cogent reason well known to Yorubas, which I'm not to say out here. Secondly, for peace and justice to prevail in terms of governance, I won't say more than that. Finally, the man that says Lagos is no man's land or smelling, ask him what role has he played to curb the inequalities or iniquities. All right?
He's been paying his taxes.
Okay, the truth is that Lagos is dirty. Come to Underbridge beside Oshodi Terminal, one of the places, the area boys, they don't use public toilets. Let the man continue his propaganda and ethnic division. One day the people will abandon Lagos for them. Destiny from Mushi. Well, that's what they've been saying. Good evening, Esther. I so much love your topic this evening concerning our environment and the way we keep it clean. Please, there is a particular place in Akonwajo along Egbeda, Sele bus stop to be precise. People living around there are dumping their refuse on the road exactly at the bus stop there. Please, authorities in charge of the place should kindly take note and stop that mess. From His Royal Highness B.C. Nwoko in Oshodi. Esther, Igbos constitute over. I'm not going to read this message. I'm so sorry. Good evening, VOP. As much as I know, in the same community, there's recognition of indigenes and visitors. That's exactly what we have in Yoruba land. What I grew up to know is that the visitors in a community are normally with different identification and reverence. If you contribute positively to the community, you'll be commended and well applauded. As a visitor, you have to tread gently every time. Recently, the behaviors of the non-indigenes of Lagos depicts bastard-like ones. It's said in Yoruba culture, a home that is peaceful is the the children of Lagos are not owning up to their responsibilities as children of the land, thus care only about money and fun. When you misplace the value and norms of a land, the visitors will take advantage. Look at the states and the countries we visit. They drafted laws and orders for citizens and visitors, and we all abide by them. This system is actually prominent in some eastern parts of Nigeria. It might just have been poorly structured and not economical enough to favor the communities. So Lagos is more or less building and children who lack values or lack manners for upholding the structures of the values of the land. I am Ola from Lagos. Mr. Lawal Kundaya, final take, please.
What I'm just trying to say is that we should our leadership should be proactive. They should be all inclusive. Right. When you are made a leader, you are not a leader for yourself. You represent the people, not yourself. So whatever you want to say has to do with the people. And even in America, they welcome foreigners, and they develop by foreigners. You get it? So you can't do without other ethnic groups. Yoruba has always been very accommodable. I don't know where they get all these leaders. I don't know.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Lawal Kundaya. My name is Esther Wachuku. Good evening and thank you for listening. It's ESTIQMEDIA on YouTube and across all social media platforms. Please, let's work together. Let's stop the ethnic division and coloration. It's not healthy for our polity. Nigeria is one. We're all together in this. Let's stop this. It's very, very important. Don't let the political elites use you for their divisive content and for their selfish interests. At the higher echelon, they're together. Trust me. All right. Good night and thank you for being part of the program. Good evening.